Masters, like often, are let down by their parents because it's what becomes the not that allows them to be the I am. I'm not my mom. I'm not this. I'm not that.
Good morning, my friend, and welcome now to Wednesday. Well, it's a tense day ahead. It's the final day of Mercury retrograde, the final day of Virgo, and the first day of the rest of your life. From my smartphone to yours, keep streaming for your Wednesday Namaste today. Welcome to Namaste today, an amusing way to start your day. I'm your host and spiritual life coach, Sensei Chris Witecki. I work in the modality of psychic astrology. I consider myself a spiritual philosopher and a humble light walker, and I'm here to shed light on the ridiculousness of being human. Welcome, my friend, Namaste, and welcome to the first day of the rest of your life. I mean this because we have a powerful astrological shift going on. The last few days have built up to it. This is the final day of Mercury retrograde. This is the final day of a very intense Virgo season. And this is the beginning of the Sagittarius story. Mars is on the Galactic center. But before we dive into how ridiculous it is to be alive today, let's first take a look at your zodiac weather. This zodiac weather is for Wednesday, September 21st, 2016. Looking ahead at our 5-day moodcast. Tomorrow will be easier than today. I predict partly cloudy, but very spaced out. Friday is sunny and feeling super cozy, but Saturday is overcast with a chance of moodiness. And today I'm predicting overcast with a light chance of showers. I think everyone will be tested to the brim at least once today. Now, the Great Human Walk has finally reached step 29, Virgo. That means the ruling channel is channel 11, I Become. And that means the ruling heavenly body is Chiron, common asteroid. Now, our emotional focus is all over the place. The moon is in Act 1 of Gemini, so be careful what you think. It can trigger emotions today. And our mental focus is finally at the last day of Mercury retrograde. Mercury will go direct, thank goddess. But today it is Mercury retrograde step 14, its final step there, making a final decision of where we think we belong. So you're going to feel really like the potential to go bonkers at least once, okay? Like, there's so much electric energy on the planet. You literally need a guide to manage your mind. And in your Megascope today, I will do just that, how to manage the mind. But first, go steep yourself some tea, and let's have an exciting tea time. Hello, friend, and welcome to our tea time. Today's tea time topic is the Galactic soap opera begins. And if you've been watching my show, you know what I'm talking about. If you're just new to our show, thank you for joining us. So nice to see ya. We're talking about the fact that Mars is in Sagittarius, Saturn is in Sagittarius, and I am arguing and have been arguing that the reason you were born to live, that story, the whole reason you were born, no matter what age you are on the planet, begins today. Technically it begins tomorrow. Today is really that final step. I mean, it is the line. And that's because of Mars crossing the galactic center. Mars is at step 26 today, and Mars will be at step 27 tomorrow. Mars is the activator, lights the fuse, okay? Now, how can I be certain that anything is going to happen this time? Well, Saturn is at step 11 and is heading for the galactic center. So it is my belief that once Saturn crosses that center, the game will be on. And when I say the game, I mean the official human choice between light and dark. The official. This is the official game or argument or whatever for us to decide as a species. Do we want to live? And if so, we better organize, okay? And we better organize in our hearts, and we better organize in the light, all right? Or are we going to base our life on fear? Are we going to continue to disconnect? Or are we going to continue to disassociate, segregate, judge? We're not new to the planet, as you all well know. By this age, certainly we can get along. And I believe each of us were born for a specific purpose to be here at this time. I can't tell you in my personal readings without revealing how many incredibly famous past life figures there are right now. And many of you watching my show, I know that sounds self-serving, but it does make you feel good. But I do believe I'm a cheerleader here based on where my galactic center is in my chart. In fact, I thought I'd throw a couple things out there. I can't do all the signs, but I thought it was kind of interesting. If you have a Leo rising, like myself, okay, then the galactic center falls somewhere in your 5th house, which means your heart is aligned with the galactic mission. You are here and aligned 100%. Now, I know that because I have a Leo rising. But every person has that galactic center, and you want to base it on the rising sign, okay, not the sun sign or a solar chart. It has to do with the rising sign, but both will play into it. So, for instance, if you are a Cancer rising, which is one sign up, bless you, Bella, then you will find yourself serving in the day-to-day of the shift into the light, because the galactic center falls into your 6th house, so it will come through your work, it'll come through your daily dedication, it'll come through whatever you do for a job. Let's go one more up. If you're a Gemini, okay, bless you, Bella, or Gemini rising, I should say, then the galactic center falls in your high 7th house, or somewhere in your 7th, which means you'll probably be partnering with and teaming up with key people that will be helping during the shift. Now, people's charts all have a galactic center somewhere, and when you get a reading from someone, you should take a look at it. The reason why it's so important, let's boil it down to like a very simple sense, is if you believe you were born to do something special, which I know most of my viewers believe, then Sensei says it's time to get a move on. Okay? It is time to move in the direction and take the steps, the very first steps in front of you. That's all you have to take toward your heart's desire. Now, here's one of the secrets. A mission or any kind of like calling always comes from the heart. Your heart loves the idea, your heart wants to, your heart gets excited, you become childlike. Any kind of a mission or path will light up the heart. Why? Because God universe works on love. And the way God gets all this love down to the planet all at once is that everyone is suddenly incredibly in love with themselves. Not with anything else in the world, with themselves. You can't take that away. We also call that enlightenment. Okay, so Buddha, a lot of light workers have been trying to get a mass of people into enlightenment, because the more light that's on the planet, the more dark is exposed. It gets exposed. So, my friend, many of you I know have a calling, and I believe it's time. Now, today is kind of a final stroke energetically. We're moving, the story begins. There's step 26 galactic centers, and there's step 27 galactic centers in people's natal charts. A 26 galactic center, which is almost everyone born before 2012, okay? We are the deciders. We are the leaders of the new age. So we're here to lead and be the decision makers. Everyone born 2012 on with step 27, they are the soldiers. They are the ones that will actually carry out the changes. And I do not believe, do not teach, and will not teach violence whatsoever. It's absolutely unnecessary. So if people are thinking blood when they think revolution, you're in the old days. Let's think re-evolution. Re-evolution is our ability to look at ourselves and go, we can do better. To re-evolve, consciously evolve our spirit, our soul, our nation, our community. But really, right now, at this stage of the game, it's time to come into your heart. It's time to come in your beliefs. It's time to practice what you're here to do. And it's time to get started right now. Mars is going to inspire you in the next 24 hours, I argue. All right, that said, let me take a sip of tea, and let's discuss what I call the megascope. This is me where I'm going to channel from my guides and let them bring some left brain information in. That was fun. Okay, this is the total first time this has ever happened, ever, for me. They gave me a song, Let It Be. You know that song, either the Beatles or Paul McCartney, I can't remember, you know, when he split off, Let It Be, you know, the words of wisdom, let it be. And what Spirit is saying is that the transition from now to the next step is not an action. You don't have to do anything. In fact, the people pushing and trying to do things are the ones who will not be on their course because they're pushing. Spirit always comes. It allows, and you must just let it be. So in the next 24, 36 hours, the old dramas, whatever, just let it be. That's what Spirit has to say today. And today you might feel a bit kind of tied down because we have a grand square. We're also on the final edge of Mercury retrograde. So devices may go down, things may funk up, okay? And I want to give you some tips to managing your mind, to keep you from going bonkers, all right? Here's 3 tips to help manage your mind in the final 36 hours of this transit we've been in. And please pardon the planes above. Step 1. Have you heard this in your mind before? In other words, if you find yourself arguing over something you always argue, and you've argued over it, it's led nowhere, it's no longer admissible in court. So, step 1, you cannot admit in a court anything you've thought about in the past. It has to be new information. Step 2, is what you're thinking about relevant to your life today? If it's not relevant to your life today, it's not admissible in the court. Sorry, and let it out. Step number 3, is your thinking serving your heart? Do these thoughts serve your heart? Do they bring you more joy? Is it heading you down the yellow brick road of serious joy? If the answer is yes, keep thinking. If it doesn't serve your heart, you're wasting Her Majesty's time, or His Majesty. All right. For those watched over my personal sensei service today, which I highly recommend, today in your Daily Zen, I'm going to talk about the midheaven approach, how to stay focused on our goals here and where we're headed as a soul. That's your midheaven. We'll talk about it. And your 3 o'clock, I'll remind you where your midheaven points out of your natal chart in your daily eye candy. For those who watch us on YouTube, please be kind and do subscribe. You can follow me on Twitter at CWateki. And if you'd like to sign up and learn about the bright star you really are, give it a try. For $1.99, you will be entered into a contest to win a free reading with me, and you'll get to experience a whole lot of cool stuff from my personal sensei service. So if you haven't already, you might give it a try. I'm just saying. All right, friends. Well, have a fantastic 24 hours. Remember, I love you. Until then, live, love, be.